I said we leaders of the new school. New clues for new fools. If you snooze, well then you lose. And now you like boo-hoo. This life is what you make it. If you fake it, well that's what you choose. But see this life is sacred, so I'ma take it to new altitudes. Now follow the move. These rules will help you for self-rule. See, I don't focus on the deficit. For every second that tick, the better I get. To rules telekinetic, my jewels thick. You could tell when I spit. Give you a lift with beautiful music and royalty, so my roots is rich. And being broke, well, I wasn't used to this. So hustle hard is what we do in the bricks. And loyalty keeps the truce in the click. So pardon me while I take a minute and introduce the kid that rock. I did it for you, Big and Pac, and every soldier that was slain in this game and fell for hip hop. We lick a shot and get props cause hell's hot, but we not scared of cops. Why not? Cause they some punks under pressure. Therefore, 25 lighters on my dresser. Yes, sir. You see, they put me in the game, so I'm a playboy like Hefner. You better wear your sweater when I view my interviews. Rules never surrender. You've just been hit by a smooth criminal. It's critical when you're a lyrical individual with residuals, subliminal ridicules to get rid of you. But every spitter that I run with is 100 if you want it. War, what? Three of us like fighting Leonidas from Sparta. We torture any opposing team. There's many more hopes and dreams that we can bring into reality. Home in Jerusalem, master of ceremony. And you never clone me. In fact, Jack, you looking at the one and only. To get lonely, cause I don't need a gun up on me. Silent weapons for quiet storms. I could see in the rain. How I step is kinda calm, but I'm deep in the flames. Pay attention, listen. Submission isn't even exchange. I'm from when niggas spit intuition and blow trees for their pain. I'm from when niggas OD in the game. I'm from the city of OGs in the game. And now we leading the game. And ain't no reaching my game. The sun's with me, so there's peace in my veins. I said we leaders of the new school. New clues for new fools. If you snooze, well then you lose. See, this life is what you make it. If you fake it, well, that's what you choose. But see, this life is sacred. So I'm going to take it to new altitudes. I am Siraj Rakim. I'm Pu Akhenaten Hotep, a.k.a. New Jerusalem Heru. And this is the Artist Access. You are watching Radio Rakim's Artist Access.
Access granted.
Welcome back to another episode of the Artist Access. I am here with the beautiful, the phenomenal Miss the Phenix Fire. You gotta put the in the beginning, right?
Yes, the Phenix Fire.
The Phenix Fire, aka Portia
Zaraya. Flip it. Portia Zaraya.
Zaraya.
AKA the Phenix Fire.
I say it backwards, but
Yeah, you only really know me as Phoenix anyway.
So how are you doing, man?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh man, I'm glad you was able to come. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
of course. I was waiting on my invite. You know
no,
I was.
No, I was coming. You know
I know. I was being patient.
No, you came to the radio show, but now we doing it different than now.
Yeah.
We on TV
We're
now.
on video.
Hey, video. Yeah, so look, man, you got a lot of stuff going on. You're doing big things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
You know, it's
no,
all
you
about
doing
trying.
You're doing it. You're doing it.
You know, I just like to stay humble. But yeah, I'm doing it.
You doing it. You doing
Yes.
it. So look, first of all, when did you start Royal Infernos? When did you first launch that?
Let me see. I first launched Royal Inferno, I think like 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was doing everything like under Portia Zaraya or Phoenix.
Right.
And I said, I need something broader because I do a lot. So I do books and treatments and, you know, so much. And I'm like, what else can I? Oh, let me just start a business. And I was thinking, something that kind of ties in with Phoenix, ties in with fire. You know, so I'm like, Royal Inferno, yes.
It's fire.
It's encompassed everything,
Right.
You know, so yeah.
That's fire. So look, man, I just found out, like we talked a while ago, and I found out you told me you was from California. I had no idea. I thought you was a Texan
I'm
Wow.
Cali. Yeah, San Diego.
Okay.
California. I've been here though since like mm, 2009, but I was like going back and forth because I get homesick. And then I'm like, oh, I can't do Texas. I'm gonna go home. And then I'm like, oh, I can't do these prices. So I come back.
So you still got people back home?
Of course, yeah. I just came back like 2 months ago. I was in LA with my sister. She's still out there. I still have a lot of family out there.
Okay.
So yeah, we were out there hanging out.
How do you like Texas compared to California? Cali got a lot going on too. So why would you compare Texas to LA? Is it slower?
Yes.
I hear it's slower.
That would be like my first thing. It's a lot slower. I think that California gets a lot of stuff first. The people are faster. It's a fast pace. It's like keep up. And then in Houston, it's like more kind of a slower pace. I had to learn how to do that. I'm gonna tell you one thing that used to get to me when I first came out here is people stare out here. And I grew up in Southern California when it was like gangsters and gangs, and you know what I'm saying? And so it's like people stare at you, you be like, what's up? What you want to do? You know, but I had to get used to people just stare.
Right.
And I'm like, why are you staring at me?
Right.
So I have cousins and stuff that live out here, and they're just like, well, maybe she like your hair or your shoes or something. I'm like, well, say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm from, man, you know. But I think the cost of living in Houston is so much better.
Okay.
Opportunities for jobs and things like that. And then, too, for what I want to do as far as my company and who I am as a writer, I can just plant a seed and grow it here because it's so open. So, yeah, I mean, I like Houston. I'm in Houstonian really now, so, you know, but I still rep Cali.
Yeah. I love Houston myself too. Houston is like, for me, it just opened up all kind of doors for me, you know.
Yeah, because you're from Louisiana, right?
Right.
Yeah. See, I knew where you was
Opened
from.
up many doors, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So, like I said, you do so much. So, you got how many books you got under your belt right now? About
3.
3?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
I have 3, and I really want to write another one. I kind of want to write something for the single moms because I think it's important for, especially single moms that are usually kind of younger, and they don't have anyone to support them or guide them in motherhood, you know. A lot of them don't, which is really sad. But I'm thinking about doing something like that, or I might just jump into my fiction, you know.
How did you even get into writing? And what made you want to do a book? Like, what started for you? You was like just writing poems
Basically,
first?
No, actually, well, yeah, I guess so. It kind of both. Because writing is not what I do; it's who I am. I'm naturally a writer. Like I'm writing all day.
Okay.
And even in my book, in my phone, I have notes that just outlines of stuff that I just write. And then my friend, who is also a rapper, he's from Port Arthur. His name is Labu.
Okay.
And he kind of encouraged me to write something. I was like, yeah, I'm a writer. He's like, okay, prove it. Write me something. So I had wrote him this short story. It was kind of loosely based on him because he's a rapper and all this. And it was loosely based on him. It was called Daniel in the Den.
Okay.
And it was a short story, and I read it to him. He was like, girl, you have talent. And I was like, nuh-uh. He's like, for real. You should read it to other people. So I had like a group of my friends come over to the house, and they sat down and said, I want to read you guys. It's just a little short story. I want you to read it, and you guys tell me what it is. And I read it, and they were like, you wrote that for real? I'm like, yeah. So that just kind of prompted me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to write another one and another one. And then I just took those short stories that I made and created my first book, which is Know That I Am Zareya, Dream, Imagine,
And you made that out
Conquer.
here? You made the first book in Texas?
Well, I kind of wrote it when I was in California, but I didn't publish it until I came here. So I published it myself. I published all my books myself. So, hey, if you know somebody that wants a book, if you know somebody who wants to write a book, tell them to look me up because I published,
Okay.
Royal Inferno is a purpose-driven company that promotes all creative expressions, which includes books, poetry, comedy, anything, production, film, movies. So if it's art, I'm in it, you know. And I grew up with a family of musicians. I can't sing, but I'm the writer. Yes.
Yeah. So poetry. When did you first step on the stage to start doing poetry?
Poetry was 2016 that I started actually spitting poetry.
Okay.
To me, I feel like as a poet, you're not really a poet until you're like on stage, you're in front of people, you're giving it in front of people. That makes you a poet. Because anyone can write poems, right? I mean, you have to write poems in school, but that doesn't necessarily make you a poet. And so I just kind of got pulled into it. Someone told me I was selfish because I wouldn't share it. But I learned a lot. going through that process of poetry and being a poet and things like that. So,
Yeah, I met you like in 2017
mm-hmm.
once I moved out here, do a show with Reverse It,
Mm-hmm.
and so were you acting before? When did you start doing acting?
So
That came after the poetry?
not necessarily. With acting, it became professional after the poetry, of course, because the poetry kind of, to me, I feel like poetry opened the door for me.
Right.
It got me exposure to people,
Right.
and to be able to really bring out my other talents, per se.
Right.
But I've acted since I was a little girl. I used to be like an original Reverse It kid.
I'm telling you, that's why I asked you that. Because like I said, your poetry, when you're doing your poetry, and I noticed this from the first time I saw you spit, you become you become something.
I become the poet.
You become yeah. And it's like you putting on it's a whole little thing. You know what I'm talking about?
And that's like my natural. That's like, look, to me, it's like poetry is an expression of self. So if I'm giving you my poetry, I'm giving you myself. I'm digging deep into my spirit, and I'm taking that and giving it to you. I'm really deep when
it's
it
like
comes
a stage
to
play.
stuff.
Your poetry is like a stage play. I'm
Well,
trying to tell you.
Hey, would they be paying attention?
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I mean, professionally, the acting came afterwards. But yeah, I was a professional recycle kid, one of the original recycle kids in California. So we did shows like all over San Diego, like Earth Day and things like that about recycling. So, and then my godmom, she would take us to different churches and stuff, and we would do like poetry, or we would do like little stances for Bible scenes in front of the churches, and she would take us to different churches to do it. So I kind of got some exposure from there. Right. And what's crazy is I didn't even realize that I had that exposure until I started doing the poetry, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been grouped for this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ain't that funny how it all just falls out and leaves out? Yeah.
Right. It just kind of played out. So that was good. So I guess it's just part of my purpose.
Right. That purpose.
I like acting though.
I'm telling you, you are an actor. But you stepping behind the scene now. Now you're directing.
Yes. Now I'm directing.
And producing films. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, like, the one thing that I really love is the writing. I like to write it. I like to create it because I like to see it come to life. It's kind of like being pregnant and then having the baby and seeing your baby come to life. That's what I like. But I have people that have mentored me along the way, and I've learned from them, and I've taken what I've learned. And I went to school for film too. Okay. But I've taken what people have taught me and made it my own and did the things that I needed to do. So, yeah.
That's true. What up, Dre?
We are live.
I don't know which gate to go through.
Ride past, boy, we hood like a mother on live TV. Look, ride past that bus stop. There's a gate open, right past the bus stop. And come into that gate. And come into that gate, go all the way down, and there's a gate open to the far right, and come back to the middle building.
Okay, baby, I got you.
All right.
I got it.
Forgive us, y'all. Hey.
Hey, this is your show.
That's
You can do what you want to do.
That's my next guest. I got the hand to the pump in here, you feel me? So, hey, yeah.
You can do what you want to do.
So, what we was talking about, Portia? About you directing and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah. But look, you got a future in this film stuff. Because I'm trying to tell you, like I said, once I first seen you do your poetry, it was theatrical. I'm telling you. Yeah. And so to see you act and to see you step behind the scene and produce these films, you going somewhere.
Thank you. I appreciate
Please
that.
don't stop.
Look, you know what? I claim all of that right now.
Yeah,
in the name of Jesus, I claim it because I feel like it's part of my purpose. And for me, if I'm doing something and I'm going down this road, and if doors start opening for me without me even having to knock or ask somebody for something, it's presented to me, then I'm like, oh, I'm going in the right direction because I know this is what is laid out for me. This is what God has for me. So whatever is coming, I know it's going to be big because I'm a giver. You know, I've given a lot to a lot of people that don't even know that I was the one that gave it to them. You know what I mean? And so I don't say nothing, and I don't expect anything back because I know that God is going to make sure that I'm provided for, and it's going to be, it's going to be brought back to me, and I'll get my reward. So I'm not really tripping, and that's probably why so many things happen for me because I just be like, okay, well, either you love me or you hate me, but you aren't going to watch. You're going to see me, right? And so
yeah,
that's me.
yeah. So Access Denied.
Yes.
Is that the first film under Royal Inferno?
Yes. Well, it's the first film that I wrote, directed, and produced. I do have some other films that I did that I probably produced and wrote a little bit, but not my film.
Under your company.
Yeah, but this is my actual company film. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Access Denied. That was released last year. Yeah, in June. So I'm excited about that. It's on Tubi. Access Denied. You'll see my big old face on the poster.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm excited about that one too. We did really good actually for my first film. We did a really good. It's still out there. It's still doing numbers and things. So I'm excited.
And you also have a few web series out, right?
Oh yeah, I do have the web series
Yeah,
Playboys.
Playboy.
Yes. So
Yeah.
You've been doing your research.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
you. I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Playboys. It's on
What's
YouTube.
Playboys is about?
So Playboys is about two brothers who are musicians. So they really like rap and sing and things like that. And of course, they're Playboys, right? So one has to always have a girlfriend. That's Kyle. He has to have a girlfriend, but he also has to have a side chick. So he got to have like two girls at all times. Whether that means they get rotated or switched out, that's what's going to happen. And then you have Cole, who is more of the, I'm not trying to be in a relationship. I'm just going to be with who I want to be with. Nobody can tie me down, but I love my tea lady, who is his mom. And so it's just a show that kind of takes them through the ups and downs of their relationships. But there is a twist because Cole is a serial killer.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a serial killer. And the only person who knows he's a serial killer is his brother. And he tries to, get him on the right path, but he lets him get away with a lot, So, yeah, it's a little twist and turn.
That's some drama right there, boy.
Yeah, it's on YouTube right now, Playboys, the series.
Yeah.
And so that's just season 1. But when we get ready to release season 2, I don't think I'm going to release it on YouTube. But I kind of wanted to put it out there just to see how people would react to it and if they would like it. And we did pretty good, I think. Yeah, I mean, for people who don't really know, don't really know me like that, but it did really okay. Playboys.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your newest baby that you got cooking right now, that's soon to be premiering, The Devil's Kiss.
Yes, Devil's Kiss.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited about that. You were in that.
I was in it, and I want to thank you on the air. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity.
You're welcome.
To do my thing in the film. I had fun doing the film. You know what I'm talking about? You and like I said, your writing skills is fire.
Thank you.
You had me in some fire scenes.
And what's crazy is that, remember when I saw you at the show, right? At Mr. Red Room. And so as I was like writing and things like that, I always think about who I want to cast because I know a lot of actors and stuff like that and people who want to be actors. Right. And as I'm writing the characters, I was like, who can be good for this? And I'm like, oh, so Raj. I said, because I know you're trying to get into the acting thing or whatever. Yeah. So when I had seen you at the show, I was like, hey, you want to be in the movie? He was like, yeah. I thought you thought I was playing too. But I was serious.
You said it, and then you hit me up and said, hey. I'm like, she was serious.
I was serious. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for you to see everything.
I can't wait either, man. Look, so Tell the people a little bit about The Devil's Kiss.
So Devil's Kiss is about two sisters. They're street assassins.
Wow.
And so they kind of come from Florida because they kill one of, it's supposed to be like the person that they work for, the kingpin that they work for. They killed his brother. And they're like, okay, we got to get away from him. So they end up coming to Houston, and they end up setting shop in Houston and dealing drugs, and it's about money and blood. And then they end up having to get away from Blue, and so they're kind of dealing with all these different things, but they're dealing with these things separately. Right. So like one is dealing with her drugs and money thing, and the other, she wants to be in love, who is it's Jasmia and Tasmia. Jasmia is like on 100 all the time. She's ready to just put a bullet in you at no questions asked. Right. But Tasmia is more of, I'm doing this because I always got my sister's back. And so nobody's going to mess with her. But at the same time, she wants to be in love and she wants to live a normal life and things like that. So it kind of takes us through their journey being in Houston and getting acclimated, and nobody knows who they are. So they just come in and just wreck shop. So yeah, that's Devil's Kiss, and they have like this little thing that they do because when they were younger, they had a pact, and the pact after the pact they kiss each other.
Right,
So you'll
right.
see them do in the movie. You know, that's
right,
why it's called
right.
Devil's
Devil's
Kiss.
Kiss.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you think about blood and money, and
Yeah.
you know, it's not no heavenly stuff. You
Right,
know.
right.
So yeah, I'm excited about that movie.
Yeah, I never really seen a movie like that where you seen females getting down how they was getting down in the movie. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's gonna be a nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
yeah.
gonna be something serious.
Yeah.
And what's funny is, so, is that Drake?
Dre again. What's up, my brother?
Hey, is it a code I need to put in at the note?
Nah, my man about to let you up. All right.
So, Jasmine and Tasmine are played by Siobhan Joy and then Desiree French. And both of them are so prissy.
Right.
They're just like prissy, you know. They have their little, little moments, but they're mostly like ladies. You know,
Right.
they're ladies.
Right.
So taking them and turning them into gangsta bitches.
Right.
Oh, can I say that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Turning them into like gangsta bitches
Right.
was like,
How did you
for
find
me, it was
Siobhan
like-
for this role? How did you find her?
So Siobhan, I actually met Siobhan when I had a play. I did a play. It
Okay.
was called To Have and to Hold.
Okay.
In like
okay.
2020, like 2021, like right after COVID. And she auditioned for one of the roles in that play, and I was very impressed with her, and how she can kind of take herself and turn herself into whatever the character is. And so I've been working with her. If I anytime someone's like, hey, we need somebody to do this, I'm like, oh, Siobhan to do it. You know, she's really on it.
Right.
And so she actually had auditioned for a different role in the movie as Pam, who is one of the bartender in the movie. But after just seeing her audition, I was like, let me see. I might can get her to be Jasmine, who is the one that's on 10, on 100 all the time.
Right.
And so to get her to do it, it was just like, for me, it's an accomplishment because I think they did an awesome
Yeah.
job. Her and Desiree
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
impressed me, blew me away. You guys will see them in Devil's Kiss. They're really outstanding actresses for sure. So that's how I met Siobhan, and I met Desiree through Dre.
Yeah. They all talented, man. I didn't know Siobhan was in so many other movies. Like she got a whole catalog. You know what I'm saying?
She got a little thing. She was on your show, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She got a whole little
She
catalog.
she
like,
out there
been
doing her thing.
I thought she was like new to the game. I'm like, man, she been doing this thing.
No, she does. She does it. She professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she does. So yeah, I feel blessed to have a lot of people that I work with. The actors and everyone around me. It's just a blessing because they don't have to do it. They don't have to be there. I mean, people come for money, but I mean, I ain't paying like $4,000, $5,000, or whatever. But I'm just blessed to have those type of actors around me who take the craft seriously, and they're not just coming to read the words or whatever, but they're really putting in 100% into the movie. So I feel blessed on that. So yeah.
Right. That's what's up, man. So look, man, we're gonna take us a quick commercial break. Later on, hopefully, Miss Phenix Fire, she is a poet. Y'all heard her say she's a poet earlier. Hopefully, she'll give us a poem.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
You know what I'm saying?
We got to talk about that.
Yeah. So look, y'all stay tuned. This is the Artist Access, and your access has now been granted.